I am so honored and grateful that you all have placed your trust in me to be your president for the next year. We are a huge, beautiful, diverse family. 58 counties strong. CSAC is our 58 county family. Where are my rural people out there? That's right. Where's the suburbans? Yeah. And our urban people. We have, in the past couple of years during this job, I've been able to visit all of the corners of this state, and I've seen the beautiful areas of the North Coast that are rain-soaked and have trees on it. Spent time in my Sierra Nevada and up north, and you will not hear me stop saying that that's where your water and your clean air and your recreation come from, and we should invest in it. I've been to the Bay Area and enjoyed the culture there. Been to the Central Valley. Heard enough from the San Joaquin Valley folks that I am not gonna forget what they need. The vast deserts all the way down to Imperial County and the sun-kissed cities and beaches of Southern California. And if we think about the different types of people that we serve, we have people that are brand new, fresh into this country, bringing with them their hard work, their new ideas. We have families who have deep roots in our history. And then, particularly in my area, but across the state, we represent indigenous peoples who have stewarded and lived in this land for time immemorial. We are a big, beautiful, unruly, wild, weird, wonderful family. And like any family, sometimes we get into fights. Sometimes we don't get along. But here at CSAC, we are brought together with one shared mission, and that is improving the lives of the people in our communities. Even when we disagree, I know that we share the same core values of caring for the people in our communities. Whether you're serving 10 million people in Los Angeles, and shout out to the LA supervisors. Holly, there you are. Catherine, I think you're back there. Or whether you're serving 1,200 neighbors in Alpine County, and I know we got Alpine County supervisors out here. One of them told me earlier this week that we do the same thing, you just move the decimal point over a few times. But our peoples have the same issues, and we are united with one mission, and that is to improve the lives of our people. And I promise I'm not gonna do this too much in my year because it's kind of getting old, but as Supervisor Gore says, NACO president, we are here to get stuff done. And so this is not a new mission though. California counties have been doing this for 175 years. And for 130 years of that, CSAC has been the unifying force that has been helping counties deal with our problems, our difficult challenges, and look for opportunities to improve the lives of our constituents. And over those 130 years, CSAC has elevated from being just a group of a small group of local elected leaders getting together to try to collectively solve some problems, to being the most powerful advocate for change and innovation and resilience in our communities in all of California. And quite frankly, CSAC is the premier association of counties in all of the United States of America, and that's something that we should be proud of and that we should build on. And I want to take a little bit of time to honor those of us who have put in all of the work so that we can stand on their shoulders. We have over 40 supervisors who are retiring this year. I don't have the time to give a shout out to all of them, but just some of them that come to mind and who have been personally important to me. Keith Carson, I don't want your head to go too big because you just got a big award, but Keith has been so kind to me, and he has been a mentor, and he has given so much to this organization. I really appreciate your service, sir. Aaron Hannigan out there from Solano County. So important for the Women's Leadership Forum, so important for the New Supervisors Institute. We're gonna miss you, but I know where I'm gonna see you next. Yeah, that's right. We got Matt Kingsley, I think he's over here. My older brother from Inyo County, we got elected on the same day 12 years ago, and he and I, through hard times and disagreements, have always had respect for each other, and he's done so much for rural counties. He was the president of RCRC and basically volunteered for anything that they had him do. Really appreciate it. There you go. Never miss a chance for self-promotion, Matt. And Richard Forrester, I don't know if he's still out here, but Richard Forrester, representing the rurals in this area, has stepped up anytime CSAC asked him to do it. So there are 40 of these wonderful people that are retiring. We have these huge holes to fill, but I went to the New Supervisors Institute, which filled me up with hope because we've got all of these great new supervisors coming in. I was really impressed. They were smart, they were dedicated, they were bringing fresh ideas. And so if you are one of those people in here, we welcome you. This is your organization. You need to use it, and we welcome your new ideas. We are lucky to have a really great team here. Graham Knaus, our CAO, wherever he is. Graham, doing a great job. We are going to hold you to a high standard because I know you can keep it. We've got Chastity Benson and the entire operations team who has just brought all of CSAC to the next level. And I will also hold you to a high standard because I know you can keep it, and I know you'll hold me to a high standard. We got Jacqueline Wong Hernandez and the advocacy team, which are a bunch of really smart, young, hardworking, compassionate, caring people who are going to translate what 58 different counties need in all of these different policy areas and be bulldogs in Sacramento in order to get what we need done in order to help our people. We got Alan Fernandez out there with the CSAC Finance Corporation. You guys are doing a great job. Keep our dues low, keep our corporate partners happy. Corporate partners, thank you for being here. Paul Danchek, bringing the CSAC Institute and the California Counties Foundation to new heights, reaching into the deepest parts of California and training our next round of leaders and taking the people that are in their current positions and leveling them up. It really is a game changer for California. So I thought about what I was going to say before the election. Didn't know what the outcome was going to be. What I did know is that there were going to be part of the crowd tonight that was going to be angry, part of the crowd that was going to be anxious, part of the crowd that was going to be afraid. So I thought, great time for me to be president. But I thought, okay, here's some things that I think about when I think about why I'm doing what I'm doing, why we do what we're doing as county supervisor. And one is a Buddhist proverb. It says, what does one do before enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water. What does one do after enlightenment? Chop wood and carry water. And what that means is, no matter which side you were on before the election, the work that you were doing before is going to be really close to the work that you're doing after. Because as county supervisors, we're on the ground providing the basic services for our people. That's not going to change. So chop wood and carry water. And the next thing I thought about was the Martin Luther King Jr. quote that says, "The arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends towards justice." And then I recently learned that Martin Luther King didn't write that. He was paraphrasing an abolitionist from 1858, before the Civil War. His name was Theodore Parker, and I'm going to read it to you because I think it's good. It says, "I do not pretend to understand the moral universe. The arc is a long one. My eye reaches but a little way. I cannot calculate the curve and complete the figure by experience of sight, but I can divine it by conscience. And from what I can see, I am sure that it bends towards justice." And why I think this is important, because sometimes it feels like what we are doing is meaningless, rolling the boulder up the hill, the hamster on the wheel, whatever you want to say it is, because we can see about this far of the arc of history. But that does not diminish the importance of what we're doing. What we're doing is noble, it's important, and it is essential for the lives of our constituents and the people who live here. So that means we got work to do. We got some really big issues. We got homelessness, which is not decreasing despite all of our efforts. We've got a housing affordability crisis to the point where I don't know if my boys are going to be able to afford to buy a house in California ever. If I didn't buy a house when I did on a supervisor's salary, I couldn't have a house. Our employees can't have houses. These are serious issues. We have a changing climate that we are feeling now. We have wildfire issues that are obvious to everyone and not diminishing, and we have to find a way to adapt our communities to survive that. We have the dual challenges of both providing childcare and early childhood education so that our students can thrive and so that our working families can work, and simultaneously deal with the silver tsunami, which says by 2030, a quarter of all residents of California are going to be over the age of 60, and a huge percentage of them are going to be over 85, and we really don't have the infrastructure to know how to figure it out. So, what we do have is CSAC. CSAC is our partner of working with the state and working with the feds to give us the flexibility that we need so that the solutions work in each of your individual counties and the resources we need in order to make it happen. The state likes to do these realignments and mandates, and one of the things that they forget is they realigned those two counties because it was not working when the state was doing it. So we need to remind them that in order for them to be successful, we have to be successful. CSAC is our advocate for that. So we also, as evident by our speakers the last few days, we are currently navigating some dramatic social and political change, some of which we don't even fully understand. But one of the things that we do know is that over a third of the legislature is brand new right now. And as the state librarian told us just a couple of days ago, this is the least experienced crop of legislators in modern history in California. And so what that means is we have this wonderful opportunity to train them, to let them know that counties are the ones that are doing the work that the legislature and the governor wants to happen. So it's an opportunity. You know, we have a governor who sometimes has been openly hostile to counties. We have a president coming up who has vowed retribution on the state of California. We have a state budgets with growing deficits out until the end. With CSAC and with all of you, we have the ability to solve this. So, I feel that currently the greatest issue that we have, the greatest challenge that we have facing us is the division that is within our community. This affects community in the sense of neighbors who will not talk to neighbors. It affects our families. I know families whose parents have disowned children, children who no longer talk to their parents. And where I find hope in that is Inyo County. So Inyo County, we are 10,000 square miles, 19,000 people, and we're really far away from anything else. So we're all in the same churches, we're on the same softball teams, we run into each other hiking the trails, and even though people have dramatic political views, it's really hard to hate somebody when you know them. And I get that same sense from CSAC. Like, we have county supervisors who are part of CSAC who have dramatically different world views. And, but in this room, in this space, we come together with respect, we learn about each other, and I think we come up with better solutions. So if we do our job particularly well, I think we can be a model for other levels of government on how to behave, how to treat each other, how to get things done. I think we can be a model for our community. Thank you. And if we don't do our job, if we succumb to our basest instincts and we fight with each other in the ways that we see on the internet and everything, who's going to suffer? It's going to be the people in our communities. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of challenges, and basically it is, before you do anything and before you say anything, think to yourself, is this going to make my community stronger? Is this going to bring my community together? Because if it's not, we don't have time for it. We have work to do. So, I want to give a couple of acknowledgments before I get off the stage. It's been quite a long journey from, I joke around and say that I'm a hillbilly, but people should see, like, when I was growing up, we engaged in typical hillbilly activities. And I get from there to the president of CSAC, and there's a lot of people that I got to thank on that. And first is my parents. I have my father, Alan, over here, and my mother, Gretchen. My father, Alan, in addition to being a dairy farmer and a tree farmer and a logger, was a volunteer firefighter for 50 years and was the treasurer for that fire department for a couple of decades as well. My mother worked in a mental health institution for a very long time as a dietitian, and then she retired from that and became the local WIC lady, WIC dietitian, so county worker right over here. They drugged me to so many volunteer activities as a child that I just thought that's what you were supposed to do. So I learned those values of community from them. I have all of my Inyo County peeps over here. Thank you for supporting me and lifting me up and giving me the time to do all this stuff. I've got some friends here and I've got friends all over here, and without the love that I feel all of the time surrounded by people, I couldn't do this. So I'm excited for this year. I hope you're excited. I hope you're going to be on this journey with me. Let's have some fun tonight, and then tomorrow it's to work. Thanks, everybody.